Hello all, my name is Krish Naik and welcome to my YouTube channel. So guys, today in this particular video, we are going to discuss the basic difference between Devops versus MLOps. If you don't know guys, this week we had conducted 4 days community session. Every day was around 2 hours of session on MLOps, and if you have not seen that particular playlist, the link will be given in the description. But still many people had a confusion regarding DevOps and MLOps. What are the basic difference between DevOps versus MLOps? And in this particular video, I'm going to completely clear it out for you. What is the exact difference? So one more thing that you need to understand guys, DevOps and MLOps are also very good job requirements in most of the companies, specifically where the softwares are getting developed, probably a web application is getting developed. In short, whenever you are working in some agile process which involves software development lifecycle, DevOps is pretty much compulsory. Before going ahead with respect to this particular videos guys, I want to announce iNeuron is coming up with an advanced DLCVNLP course, and this is basically starting from 17th April 2021. The class timing is between 12:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. on Saturdays and Sundays, and apart from this, the doubt clearing session will be on 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Thursdays. The prerequisite of this particular course is that you need to know Python programming language and a basic of machine learning. Then only you'll be able to understand the deep learning things. You'll also be getting all the pre-recorded videos as soon as you enroll for this particular course. Apart from this, you also have an email support and Skype support all 7 days in a week, where the live Skype support team, if you have any kind of queries, you can approach them and you can ask them any queries. Apart from this, all the information is given in this particular link. The link will be given in the description of this particular video. So let's try to understand what is the basic difference, and we'll try to get to know a lot of things regarding this. So to begin with guys, if you have some basic experience, if I talk about something like an agile process. Now in an agile process, what happens is that whenever we are implementing some stories, the stories are divided into sprints. Like it may be sprint 1, sprint 2, and in every sprint, we try to create some number of stories. After, suppose if I take the duration of sprint 1, it is usually 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks of duration, where we need to probably implement some of the stories within a team. After that particular stories is implemented, and this I'm considering right now, I'm discussing regarding DevOps. After the stories has been completed in sprint 1, what happens is that it is basically sent to the CICD pipeline. That is called as continuous integration. This is my CICD, and then this is basically my continuous deployment. So these two things are pretty much important. Continuous integration and continuous deployment. First of all, let's discuss about continuous integration. Now in continuous integration, what happens is that as soon as a set of stories has been developed, we definitely have to give this particular set of stories to the QA team. In a team guys, you will be having a development team, you'll be having a QA team. The development team will be responsible in developing the stories. The QA team will basically be testing those stories, right? And this I'm basically discussing when you're developing a software, or whether you're developing a web application, right? At that time, simultaneously and parallelly in an agile process, as the sprint is getting completed, QA usually test in their set of environments. So what happens is that initially after sprint 1, everything is deployed in the development environment. So there are also different environments. In this development environment, what happens is that the development team does a thorough testing completely end to end with respect to the application they have developed. And whenever the QA wants to test it, from this development environment, it is pushed, the entire thing is pushed to the QA environment. And this actually happens in the form of continuous integration and continuous development, right? So that is the reason we say CICD pipelines. Now what does the CICD pipeline basically mean? And once it is pushed to the QA environment, the QA team will basically be doing the testing. And once they give a sign up, this is basically moved later to the staging environment, right? And finally, it is then moved into the production environment, right? In the prod environment. So this is how the process usually goes off. As the QA gives a sign off, again, it is moved to staging environment. In staging environment also, there will be a separate round of testing by the QA team with respect to all the bugs and all, whether it is solved or not. And once they give the staging, it is then pushed to the production environment. After the staging, there is also an environment called as UAT environment, but I'll just limit it till the staging environment itself. Now, before pushing into this different environments, there will also be a separate pipeline where they will be putting in the form of CICD pipeline. So this is nothing but CICD pipeline. Suppose QA raises some issues with respect to sprint 1. Then what happens is that those issues are fixed by doing continuous development, and then it is probably integrated with the CI/CD pipeline, and then again it is done. The deployment is basically done in the dev environment, and later on it goes like this. So whenever you are developing a software or probably a web application, usually we follow this kind of strategies to do the deployments and to plan the strategies itself. For every sprint, we take up stories, we develop it, and then we continuously develop it, and with the help of CI/CD pipelines, we continuously push from one environment till the next environment till it reaches the prod environment. Now the question rises, what is then MLOps? When I talk about DevOps, guys, the first basic difference is that whenever we are talking about DevOps, we are basically talking about a software application probably, or when we are talking about probably a web application. Okay. Now, whenever I talk about MLOps, at that time I'm specifically talking about a data science project. It may be a machine learning project, it may be a deep learning project. Okay. Now, why MLOps is pretty much important with respect to a data science project? Because understand one thing. If I consider a machine learning project, probably there are various steps. The life cycle completely changes, guys. Okay, even though we'll be having sprints and all, but as the stories are getting planned, usually a common pipeline is basically created. What are the basic pipelines? One is probably the requirement gathering. Requirement gathering will be the part of will be the work of a data business analyst. Then we basically go with a next step, which is called as exploratory data analysis, EDA, right? We do a lot of exploratory data analysis. The third part is basically we do a lot of things with respect to feature engineering. Okay. The fourth step that we probably do is something called as feature selection. And this, whatever I am discussing, guys, these are called as the life cycle of a data science project. Then the fifth step that we basically follow is basically called as model creation. The sixth step is basically the model hyperparameter tuning. I'm sorry for the bad handwriting. I've never been a good handwriter. From my young days itself, right? My teachers used to scold with me with respect to the handwriting that I used to write. Model hyperparameter tuning, and then model deployment. And the final step is about the retraining approaches. Retraining approaches. Now these are all the steps with respect to my life cycle of this is nothing but this is the life cycle of my DS project, or I can say ML project. So this is my complete life cycle of my ML project, and we usually follow this particular strategy. Now remember one thing, guys. When this strategy is again formed in MLOps, we basically say this as just understand DevOps software. We are developing software, we are developing web application, and we are following some CI/CD pipeline strategies. All this life cycle that you see, that is from requirement gathering to EDA to feature engineering, feature selection, model creation, model hyperparameter tuning, model deployment, retraining approach, everything, right? Apart from this requirement gathering, what we do is that we set up all these things in a form of pipelines. Now, when I say pipelines, the best pipelines that I come to mind is CI/CD pipelines. Obviously, here also we use CI/CD pipeline. This CI/CD pipeline will probably do the steps of EDA, feature engineering, feature selection, model creation, model hyperparameter tuning. This is very, very much important, guys, in the CI/CD pipeline, because usually model, right? Whenever we develop any kind of models, we do a lot of hyperparameter tuning. We play with the parameters unless and until the model gives us a very good result. So we need to continuously do this, and based on this, the CI/CD pipelines is basically created. Then we also have the model deployment. Now after this, there is something called as retraining approach. For this retraining approach, along with this CI/CD, we also write retraining approach separately, because the retraining approach of a model is completely different when compared to the DevOps. In the DevOps, we don't have anything like retraining. Why we don't have? Because in DevOps, we develop a software, and software do not degrade, whereas a ML model do usually degrade. Okay, let me just write it down over here. Okay, just let me make it a little bit over here. Okay, what happens is that with respect to DevOps, whenever we are discussing about a software, this does not degrade. What do the meaning of degrade is? I'll tell you. Whereas in the case of ML models, as we get new and new data, new and new test data, this may degrade. What is the meaning of degrade over here in this particular scenario? See guys, when we are actually talking about degrading, that basically means the ML model, as more and more data comes, more and more new data comes, usually the performance is lower, right? Performance degrades, in short. Okay, it degrades. It will not be having the same performance that we had initially. Probably because the data may have changed. Probably now we are having more users information, probably more user behavior we are able to get from this. Whereas in this case of software, whenever we develop one software, a software can only be improved. Okay, but it will never degrade. Suppose if I am developing a software to do some kind of work, it will do that particular work, right? And after some point of time, you may get some new bugs, and that bugs can be definitely integrated. And that is the reason why we use CICD, right? Continuous integration, continuous development. Continuous development basically means if there is a bug, I'll try to improve it, I'll try to fix that, and I'll try to include that or integrate in my software. The software never degrades once it is developed, whereas an ML model degrades. So because of this, what I have written over here, CICD plus retraining approach. This retraining approach is also a pretty important task in my MLOps. That basically means whenever I'm solving a machine learning or deep learning projects, this retraining approach along with CI plus CD pipelines we have to develop. And the CI/CD pipelines that are actually created over here is completely different, because the life cycle of a data science, of a ML, of a DL project is completely different when compared to a DevOps project, right? This is the most important thing that you need to understand. So let me just give you the basics and the main differences between DevOps and MLOps. In DevOps, you know that it is the combination of just CI/CD plus deployment. Deployment is also here, guys. When I say CI/CD, when I say continuous integration, I'm also talking about deployment. But in the case of MLOps, you have one more additional thing, that is your retraining approach. That is your retraining approach. So you have this new step called as retraining approach. The second most important thing is that usually your ML models degrade, whereas your software application or your web application do not degrade. You can just find out more bugs. You can still add more features on top of that. That is the reason why we include this important pipelines called as retraining approaches in our ML ops activity. Now these are the most important differences when I compare DevOps and MLOps. But remember one thing, guys, with respect to MLOps, the complete life cycle of the project is different. We start with EDA, we do feature engineering, we do feature selection, model creation, model hyperparameter tuning, where we play with a lot of parameters, then we do the model deployment, and then finally we go with the retraining approach. That is the reason, and these are some basic difference between MLOps and DevOps. Yes, both are involved. Here we are also getting involved in deploying from one environment to the other environment, like from dev to QA, QA to UAT to staging to prod. In DevOps also we do that. But again, the entire pipeline is completely different. This pipeline needs to be always there whenever we are training our model. In case of MLOps, we can also train our model in offline mode. We don't have to follow this entire pipeline also. Sometimes you can probably train your model separately, but it is always good that we develop this particular pipeline and then we train our model. Yes, for serving the model, there may be a separate pipeline based on the application flow and all. So I hope you understood this particular difference between DevOps and MLOps. Please do give a comment if you have not understood anything. I'll be happy to help. But and sorry for my bad handwriting, but I tried my level best to write it, because when I'm using this kind of pen, it usually becomes difficult when I'm having connected monitors and all. So yes, I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day ahead. Thank you, one doll. Bye bye.